Okay, let me ask you something. How much attention do you actually pay to the birds you see every single day? We're about to unlock this whole fascinating world that's right under our noses, and you won't need any special equipment to do it. Seriously.
I mean, think about it. Your daily walk, the view from your window. Birds are everywhere, right? But it's so easy for them to just become, well, background noise. Are we really seeing them, or are we just kind of looking right through them?
So when you hear the word birdwatching, what pops into your head? For a lot of people, it just sounds so complicated. You picture someone who's an expert, who's memorized a whole book, has these super expensive binoculars, and has to travel way out into the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, well, none of that is necessary. I'm telling you, you can start today, right where you are, with nothing but your own 2 eyes and ears. The most important thing to remember is that this is a hobby for everyone.
So what's the big deal? Why even bother? It really boils down to this one simple but really powerful feeling: the joy of discovery. It's about turning the world you see every day into a place where you're constantly finding something new and amazing.
You know, every single time you notice something new, no matter how small it seems, it's like a little reward. It's this tiny moment of connection that just makes an ordinary day feel a bit richer. It's exactly like the quote says, it just adds a little bit of color to your day.
All right, let's get practical. To get you started and build up some confidence, we're going to focus on 3 birds that I'm almost certain you see all the time. Think of it this way: getting to know these guys is basically the foundation for everything else.
And what's so cool is how much is actually going on with these everyday birds. You got sparrows, right? They're always chattering away, sending these surprisingly complex messages with those chin-chin chirps. Then you have crows. They are unbelievably smart. I mean, people have seen them use cars to crack nuts open. And pigeons? They often mate for life. Seriously, there's a whole drama playing out in the park if you just take a second to watch.
So you're probably wondering, how do I actually do this without any gear? Well, the good news is you've already got the only toolkit you'll ever need. It's all about tuning in to your own senses.
We're going to focus on just 3 things. Super simple: sound, movement, and color. That's it. That's your entire starter kit, and trust me, it's way more powerful than you think. Let's break them down.
Okay, first up, sound. Next time you're on a walk, just listen. Maybe even close your eyes for a second and just focus on what you can hear. The world is just filled with bird calls, and every single one is telling a story. This is your first big clue.
See, different birds have their own signature sounds. You probably already know that familiar chan-chan of a sparrow. But what if you hear something else? Something higher, clearer, like fi-fi? Well, that could be a totally different bird, like a Japanese white-eye. Once you start learning these sounds, you can figure out who's around before you even spot them.
All right, let's move on to the next tool. Let's open our eyes and focus on movement. The way a bird moves tells you so much about it. Is it hopping around? Is it soaring way up high? Is it strutting?
Just think about it for a sec. A bird that's kind of flitting nervously from bush to bush is completely different from one that's confidently strutting on the ground, wagging its tail with every single step. That little tail wag, by the way, is a dead giveaway for a white wagtail. It's like their personal signature move. And that brings us to our third and final tool, color. And honestly, this can be the most exciting one. You absolutely do not need fancy binoculars to see a sudden, bright splash of color against a green tree or a blue sky.
Just picture this. You're walking by a river, and out of the corner of your eye, for just a split second, you see that, a flash of brilliant electric blue. That's it. That's all it takes. That one little moment of color, that's your discovery.
And that's the key thing to remember here. You don't need a perfect postcard view. That flash of blue, it might have been a kingfisher. That little glimpse is a clue. It's a piece of the puzzle you can look up when you get home. That counts. That's a total win.
Okay, so you're feeling ready to give this a shot. But where do you even go? The answer is so simple. You don't have to go anywhere special at all.
Your new observation deck is literally all around you. The neighborhood park, a nearby pond, the hedges along your street, even right outside your own window. There's so much life there. Your adventure really does start the second you walk out the door.
So here's your first mission, if you're up for it. The very next time you take a walk, just try to pay conscious attention. That's the secret sauce. Just intentionally look and listen for the birds you normally ignore. That's all you have to do. That's step 1. And really, this goes beyond just spotting birds. This simple little habit of paying attention has a much bigger reward. It actually connects you to the world around you in a way that's deeper and just more meaningful.
All of a sudden, you're not just dealing with the weather, you're actually experiencing the seasons. In the spring, you'll start to hear the songs of birds that have just arrived. In the summer, you'll see them being busy parents, building nests. In the fall, you'll notice the flocks getting ready to leave. You get tuned in to the real rhythm of the year.
And that's the real game changer. What used to be a boring commute or just another walk around the block, well, now it's a treasure hunt. Every single time you go outside, there's this little thrill of, what might I see today?
Okay, so let's wrap this all up. The key takeaways are simple. Start with the birds you already see around you. Use the amazing toolkit you're born with, your ears and your eyes, to listen for sounds and watch for movement and color. You can do this absolutely anywhere. And maybe the most important part, really cherish those small discoveries you make along the way.
Really, the only thing left to do is to get out there and see for yourself. So, the next time you're on your usual walking path, just ask yourself, what might be waiting for me to discover today? I think you'll be pretty surprised by the answer.